All right. Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles, to the bishops, to the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, which taught me this truth, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And also peace, love, blessings, and salutations unto the elect. All right. Shalom. And, pretty much this lesson is just going to be, ultimately through the Spirit, man. Here it is. The Lord has his prophets back on the highways and byways, right? Back on the scene, pretty much chanting down Esau, Edom, and his rulership, man. Chanting down Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, man. Hey, America is done. Okay, and the Lord is getting ready to give us the victory. He's about to give us a glorious kingdom. Okay, no matter how hard Esau tries to deny the fact that we are the true Hebrew Israelites, no matter how hard he tries to come against his truth, it's nothing that this devil can do because his time is up, man. Okay, as a matter of fact, since I said that, let's grab that in Job real quick, man. Okay, Job chapter 14, Salakia. Let's go to Job 14 and 5 real quick. Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. See, the Lord is the reason why Esau, Edom is in rulership. Okay, the Lord put Esau, Edom, the Edomites, okay, in power, right? And the Edomites being the so-called white men, the so-called white race, okay, whose ever line goes back to being a Edomite, okay? Right now they're in their power, right? Because going back to the account of Jacob and Esau, right? Jacob received a blessing from Isaac, being the birthright, and Esau, he received a blessing as well. So right now, Esau Edom is living out his blessing, right? When you go to Genesis, the 27th chapter, as a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Like I said, man, I'm just going through the Spirit. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, man. Real quick, let's go to Genesis chapter 27. And let's get right to the point. And verse 39, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. Okay, so pretty much Esau just being in power, man. Okay, the fatness of the earth, having the best of everything, man. Okay, and having dominion over everything, man. Okay, the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven. If you think about dew, it covers everything, man. So right now, Esau's in his heaven. Okay, he's living out his blessing, but he's at the end of his blessing, man. Okay, see, Esau, the Lord put Esau in power, for prophecy's sake, man. Okay, and ultimately, the Lord gave Esau all of this power, raised him up. Okay, made it look like he's untouchable, and all to the fact that the Lord is about to take down Esau and show his power. Okay. So just like he did in ancient Egypt. Okay. During the time of Pharaoh. So with us being in the new spiritual Egypt, right? As when you read Revelation, the 11th chapter, it goes into it. This new spiritual Egypt, Babylon the Great, because the word Egypt just means bondage. Okay. Now, if you think about this new spiritual Egypt, the new modern day Pharaoh, okay, would be Esau, Edom, the Edomites, man. Okay, and they've been putting their foot up our asses for a very long time. But that's another reason why the Lord put Esau in power. Okay, as punishment for us going off. Okay, so everything is for the prophecies. Everything is for the sake of the Lord, man. Okay, and you have people out here that don't even believe in the higher power. Okay, they're about to be completely caught off guard when the Lord brings these prophecies to pass and when Yahweh Shai returns, man. Okay, so at the end of the day, man, we're about to see a lot of great things. One of the greatest things we're about to see is the downfall of Esau, Edom, and all of our enemies. And the Lord raising us up. Lord will not be of the elect, because when Yahweh Shai returns, he's coming back to deliver the elect, man. Okay, so yeah, Esau's living out his blessing, but right now he's at the end of his blessing, man. Let's go back to Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, right? So the Lord gave Esau, Edom's rulership a cutoff period, man. an expiration date, if you will. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. You got Esau, got all of this pride in this AI. They actually think that AI is their golden ticket to their birthright, man. But ultimately, it's a snare unto him. You see? And Esau, he's the king of laying snares and laying traps. At least he thought he was the king of laying snares and traps. The ultimate king is the king of all kings, man, the Most High, right? Well, Yahweh Shai has that title as well. But the Most High, he's the going to ultimately show Esau who's better at it, man. Okay, at laying snares, at laying traps, at setting you up, man. And Esau, Edom, he doesn't even realize that his blessing was a snare. So he's putting all of his faith in his AI technology, and he's being and look, he's very boastful. Okay, trust in the science, AI, so on and so forth. We can make the Most High as angry as we want. That's the pride of this devil. Okay, but his pride. Let's go to Obadiah. It has deceived him, man. Okay, Obadiah. Let's go to the 3rd verse. In the book of Obadiah, it's only one chapter. Okay, so this is Obadiah, and let's go to the 3rd verse. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Okay, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. See, these devils are and right now, you can pretty much say that he's in his proudest that he's ever been, man. Right, and the Lord is going to allow this devil to do some things. Right. But ultimately, as I, said earlier through the Spirit, this blessing is a snare. His pride is a snare, man, because he's so proud that he actually thinks that he's going to be able to take down, survive the Most High. He actually thinks that he's going to be able to complete and fulfill his new world order, man. Right. Because these devils, they know that. And when I say these devils, I ain't talking about these peons that you work with or so on and so forth. I'm talking about the top 1%, the wicked elite. They know that Yahweh Shai is coming back. That's why they got a space force. Okay, so on and so forth. They're trying to, anticipate the return of Yahweh Shai. Right. They got all these AI robots and so on and so forth. They know about the elect. OK, they understand that the elect is going to be risen up. Right. But they actually think that they're going to stand a chance. But ultimately, they don't stand a chance. As it's when you read 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter, which I'll grab that next, man. Like I said, I'm just going through the Spirit. Obadiah, the 3rd verse. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, this devil, he's very, very proud, very boastful. Okay, they got satellites out in the heavens. And ultimately, Esau is just in his heaven, man. He's on his high horse, but the Lord is about to take him down. OK, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. OK, if you think about an eagle, it would be considered an apex predator. Right. It flies the highest of all, birds or fowls, as the scriptures refers, to birds as fowls, so on and so forth. Out of all the birds, the eagle flies the highest. OK, he's what you would call the apex predator. Right. But ultimately, that's the mindset that Esau has, man. He's very proud. But the Lord is getting ready to bring him down, man. And it's no coincidence that their national bird is the eagle. OK, and brothers, say this from time to time. If you look at Donald Trump, man, he has a face of an eagle, man. Just that proud look. And he kind of looks like an eagle, and that all goes back to Rome, man. OK, but anyways, so we're in that time to where Esau is getting ready to be brought down, man. OK, real quick. Let's go to let's see. It was a precept that I wanted to get, but through the Spirit, I've forgotten it. But let's grab this here. Let's go to Job, chapter 20, verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. See, Esau, he's had his, short period to rule, right? But now he's at the time to where his time is up, man. Okay. It says the joy of the hypocrite. Okay. Esau Edom is getting ready to firsthand see what it's like to truly experience fear. Okay. As a matter of fact, that's a spirit. The Lord brought it back to my memory. I wanted to get 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, the Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because ultimately, Esau Edom knows that he's going to try to attempt to take on the Most High. But see, the scriptures tells you what's going to be his fate, man. Okay, and I'll get right to the point. 2nd Esdras chapter 2, verse 13. As a matter of fact, let me grab this first. Bear with me. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. Right? Michael, the archangel, when you read Daniel, the 12th chapter, the Heavenly Father is going to send back Michael, the archangel, right, to protect the elect. Right? Now, another title that Yahushua is known as is the Lord of Hosts. Okay, that the Heavenly Father is known as the Lord of Hosts. Okay, because when the Heavenly Father sends back Yahushua is not coming alone, man. Okay, he's coming with the host. He's coming with the angels, man. Okay, on so-called UFOs, and the Heavenly Father, Salakia, I should say, Yahushua is going to be on the biggest so-called UFO that this earth has ever seen, man. Okay, it's actually going to be greater than the earth in size, right? In the world they would call it the mothership, but we call it the fathership, man. Right? So Yahushua is going to come back with the angels, and Esau is actually going to attempt to try to take on Yahushua and the angels, man. Okay, and it's not going to end well for him, right? And Esau has his angels, so-called, drones, right? These, super, so-called superhumans that they're making in their labs. Well, I should say, man mixed with, cyborgs. That's the word I'm looking for. Esau, he's about to unleash, a lot of his weaponry and he's going to tap into his power, but it's not going to be greater than the power of the Lord, man. Right now, when you read 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, it goes into, like I said, I just want to get to the point. 2nd Esdras 13 and 8. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me grab this first. Salaki, I know I'm all over the place, but this is all through the spirit. I just want to link them up. Let's go to Joel. Chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat. It says Jehoshaphat, but in the Hebrew it's called Yehoshaphat, meaning the Lord's judgment, man. Right? Shaphat in the Hebrew means judgment, and will plead with them. Right? Plead meaning to judge. And will plead with them there for my people. So these heathen nations, they're going to get judged for what they've done unto the children of Israel. And you're even going to have 2/3 that's going to be mixed up, because you got Jake all in the military, not just in America, but you got Israelites in the militaries of these other nations as well. And, they're going to find themselves in the crosshairs, man. They're going to find themselves trying to take on Yahushua, right? And they're going to get destroyed, which I'll get to it. It says, and will plead with them there for my people. And the Lord's people are the Israelites, the Israelites, man. You so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native Americans, you so-called Hispanics, you see, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, right? And you got Israel that's scattered amongst, all these nations, right? That's a part of our curses, man. Well, part of the curses that the Lord placed on us. Now let's go to 2nd Esdras 13 and 8, because, and this goes into what the rumors of wars leading into its boiling point, man. You see how these all these, nations are pretty much preparing for war. And that's all through the spirit of the Lord, man. Okay, because the Lord is getting ready to bring great judgment upon this place, especially upon our enemies, man. Right? 2nd Esdras 13:8. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together, right? All of these nations, these other nations and their militaries, right? The militaries of these nations are going to come to a clash, right? And via this is what World War III. Okay, so we're right here, man. But before World War III, the MOTB is going to be made mandatory. It's going to be implemented, man. And you already see how, Trump is, the Lord has a spirit on Trump. And ultimately it's the Lord that's doing it. That's working on the minds of these devils. Right. But anyways, he has Trump as the president. Right. So here it is. Trump is doing, all of these tariffs on these other countries, China and Canada and so on and so forth. And that's ultimately going to lead to, breaking up the economy, man. Okay, tearing down the economy, because that's what these devils want, because they want to put everything on a microchip. You see how they're talking about going cashless, 15-minute smart cities, putting everything, making everything digital, right? Talking about, your digital ID and so on and so forth, right? That's no coincidence, man. Okay, these are the prophecies of the scriptures coming to pass, man. Right? Revelation 13:16. That's why you got Elon Musk all of a sudden at the forefront, pretty much at the forefront of the presidency, calling shots, man. Right? Because they're putting all of their trust in AI. Okay, these small ads, man. Okay. But it's all, like I said earlier, it's all going to come to no avail. Okay. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Right? They're going to be afraid. They're going to be scared as hell when Yahweh Shai returns with the angels. But see, the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to dare them to fight, to try to, fight against the Lord. Because the word durst, I believe it means to dare. So pretty much saying they dare to fight the Lord, to try to fight the Lord. And the Lord is going to obliterate them, man, which I'm about to read it. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he had but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. All right. And it's not talking about Yahweh Shai actually, breathing fire from his actual mouth. It's talking about his chariot, his fathership. If you go and look at the movie Independence Day, remember when laser beam shot out of the so-called UFO? Well, that's what it's talking about, man. Okay, so the Lord is going to, burn these mother effers up, man. Right? Just like how, and look, Esau actually has this technology too on a low level, right? He calls them DEW weapons, direct energy weapons, man. Right? And he's been using it. All of these wildfires that's been starting up, people is coming out with the evidence that he's using his direct energy weapons. And they even got, footage of it, man. Right. So the Lord is going to, but except the Lord is going to truly show the full strength of it, man. Okay. And the damage of what it truly can do. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. So the Lord is going to burn all of these nations. He's going to burn up their military, man. And guess what? If a nation doesn't have a military, that means what? They can't fight. Prime example, look at Jake. We don't have a military, man. Right? We got Jake, they be joining the military of these other nations. Right? You so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Hispanics, you so-called Native Americans. We don't have our own military. Right? We're not sovereign. Okay, we're because we're captives. But the good news is the Lord is getting ready to get us up out of our captivity. It says, and burn them up, Salakia, and fell with violence upon and fell with violence upon the multitude. Let me highlight where I'm at. Salakia. If it'll let me highlight. Well, it won't let me highlight it, but anyways, I'll just start back from the top. 2 Esdras 13 and 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one. See, so the Lord is going to burn up the militaries of these other nations, of these nations, man. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was perceived to be perceived, but only dust, Salakia, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So yeah, man, Yahweh Shai is getting ready to come back with the angels and physically take down Esau Edom, man. So this devil is done, man. He's at the end of his rulership. I'll end off on this right here. Let's go to 1 John chapter 2 and I'll start at verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Okay, the word world meaning eon. Okay, we're not supposed to, an age, a period of time. Right now, we're in the age, right? We're in the world of Esau, Edom, the Edomites, man. This is their world. This is their kingdom. This is their rulership. This is their age, okay, of ruling. But we're at the end of it, man. Right. So with this devil being in power, with this being his world, his rulership. Right. As I said earlier, this is his blessing that he's living out. OK, he was given this power. And also Job 9 and 24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Malachi 1 and 4 tells you that the Edomites are the wicked and they're the ones that's ruling. And it's evidence linking the Romans to the Edomites. OK, these so-called white people to the Edomites, man. OK, so they are here. The Edomites have never been done away with. They're still here. They're in power right now. And they're about to be brought out of power. OK, so we're not supposed to love this world because the wicked is ruling, man. As it says in Romans, the 12th chapter. Right. You're not supposed to conform yourself after the ways of this rulership, because if you love this world, that means you love it because you're forming yourself after the ways of this world, after the ways of wickedness. And you Israelites are not supposed to do that, man. We're supposed to be patterning ourselves in the image of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, not in the image of Esau Edom, man. Right. And that's why a lot of Jakes is going to get destroyed out here, man. So we're not supposed to love this world. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Yeah, this is a carnal, sensual world, man. Always trying to fulfill your fleshly lust. That ain't of the Father, man. That's not of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's the ways of the heathen. Jeremiah 10 and 2 tells you not to learn the ways of the heathen, man. OK, so that's why a lot of Jake is going to get fucked up out here, man. OK, it says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So that means that you hate the Heavenly Father. You hate Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and they're going to show their hatred towards you. 2/3, man. 1 John 2 and 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. See, carnality. That's Esau's way, man. But see, when it comes to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he doesn't deal with carnality. He deals with spirituality, man, the spirit, the Rakak Kodash. So we want to be making sure that we're walking in the Rakak Kodash and not the flesh. Now, you got to understand, of course, we're still in the flesh. So we're not going to be it's a balance. We're not going to be 100% in the spirit. We're going to, do things of the flesh, but we can't we can't put all of our energy into that, man. We put all of our energy and our stock into Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see? 1 John 2 and 17. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof. Right? This current world is about to pass away. But he that doeth the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, abideth forever. You see? So we're in that time, man, to where the Lord is getting ready to take this devil out, man. Okay, a new heaven and a new earth is getting ready to be ushered in, man. OK, and we're next to rule. I'll end off on this right here. 2 Esdras chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, right? The end of his rulership. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're about to receive a glorious kingdom. OK, and by default, this is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai that's getting ready to be ushered in. That's being ushered in via the prophets, man. Right. Lord willing, I'm of the elect and all you sincere Akim out there and you few sisters that listen and follow this truth. Lord willing, we are delivered when Yahweh Shah returns, man. You know, so we in great times, man. So, hey, man, we're almost there. But, hey, you know, that's pretty much the end of my lesson, Lord willing. This quick lesson was edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Hagwadash. Double honors to my apostles, to my bishops, to my elders of Great Millstone who ruled well, which taught me this truth, who are the true leaders of Israel today, and also peace, love, blessings, and salutations unto the elect. Until next time, Shalom.